G'day and welcome to the next episode of Project BREWTUS. As you saw from previous videos, a bit of a recap. I'll put a picture up in the corner. The seat leather on the bottom is badly torn and the stitching's coming undone, and I got a replacement leather from another YouTuber, and we also have to fix up some stitching on the back section as well. So this video is going to be disassembly of the seat, fixing the foam and replacing the leather. One more 13mm bolts holding the seat pan to the back section. So you can see how the bolster's just worn through. So we've got some new high density foam. This is our new seat pan, which is in much better condition. It's still old, but it's worn. Something I didn't point out before was the super strong velcro that holds in here. They do pull away from the foam if you're not careful. We're not reusing this seat foam, so I'm not too stressed about that, but this seat leather is in much better condition than the original, as you can see. Anyway, the original leather was torn right through, so she's had it. I may be able to reuse this panel for the passenger side seat. Again, if those of you that have been watching along with the BREWTUS project will see that it had a tear in the seat here. So leather's pretty old and not very flexible anymore. So that's our new leather. Again, you can see how much wear there is through here. Hoarded on. The replacement seat foam that I got is better, but still quite worn, and we're going to replace this part and shape it accordingly. We have this high density foam to rebuild this section. Okay, I had a couple of mic issues here with this part. I'm just showing the damage to the seat back and what I hope to have fixed. Also the repair of this split seam, which of course opened up more and more as I took the cover off. I found a local upholstery guy who was able to fix this for me, so you'll see the outcome of that very soon. Again, a small problem with my microphone here. I'm just explaining that there's a little hole on one side that you push in to release the headrest, and then that enables you to remove it from the seat back. To remove the plastic inserts that the headrest goes into, there's a little plastic tang, I guess you'd call it, down inside. You're going to gently lever that in towards the center of the hole, the post, and then slide it out. Same for the other side. Sorry, camera's a little bit out of position there. A little bit hard to show because it's right down inside, but it's very simple. It is only plastic, so be gentle with it. And here I'll show you the little tang that sits there. That's that point there. So now they're out. That's the next step done. Be careful removing the back section. It's very easy to break the plastic tabs inside. I think you can get them though. The cheap eBay and Amazon plastic removal tools are very valuable because if you use a screwdriver or something like that, you'll more than likely damage the plastic. So get yourself a set of them. They're fairly cheap. I probably should do a quick review on them as one of my fry bats. So here I've noticed, probably a little bit hard to see with that headlight on, the rear support inside is a plastic. It's sprung with two springs on left and right of the seat there. And then the plastic's actually torn. You can see it. I'll zoom in on that. So there's a fair bit of tension on these springs. That's what's caused it to tear, plus it's rubbish plastic as per usual. So I'm removing this now. I come up with I think it's a novel way to fix this. I guess you could build a webbing structure to put in there. The strap that you see at the lower half of that is the lumbar support strap, and I'll explain how that works a little bit later on during reassembly. But let's get this plastic out now and continue stripping down the seat back to get the leather repaired. The lumbar adjustment mechanism on the side of the seat needs to be unscrewed. It's also sort of clipped in as well. You'll see that as I pull it out. It's a fairly long screw, but it needs to come out for removal of the seat leather. There is the super strong velcro on the seat back as well, like the seat base. Be very careful as you pull it out, especially with older seats. Push down on the hook side, as you can see I'm doing with my left thumb there, and pull the loop side away from it. If you don't push down on the velcro, the glue will fail, and well, actually the foam fails, and the whole velcro strip will tear off the foam. Interestingly, that round patch underneath my left hand there, it looks like this seat may have been repaired once before, because there is some overspray of contact adhesive as well. I don't know any other reason why that round patch would be there. Seems a bit strange position, but who knows. Again, take your time, hold down the velcro in the foam, otherwise it will tear away from the foam. You can re-glue it, but I don't know how successful that is with staying there. The contact cement is pretty good for upholstery, but still, if you can avoid it, then hold it down and keep it attached properly. So just inspecting the seat back foam, it's in reasonable condition. Of course, it doesn't get as much wear as the seat base. And as you can see, that seam is just a continuous stitch, so it just continually unraveled as I pulled the cover off.
A few moments later.
So here's the seat back from the upholsterers. I got him to replace the panel on the right hand side, that one there that I'm showing, as it was actually quite badly worn, and all of that stitching he has redone. He had to hand stitch it, I believe. He couldn't do the French double stitching, so that was a little bit disappointing that I couldn't have that. But at the end of the day, 90% of people wouldn't recognize or wouldn't notice that, and because it's got new leather on that part, it looks 110% better than what it did. With the back section, I'm going to show you the fix that I came up with. Use some really big, heavy plastic zip ties, and then did some plastic welding, melted the cracked plastic back into position, and then used the zip ties. So the zip ties actually will share the load between the springs, and hopefully that will last quite well. I'm just explaining what I've done there, and yeah. So here I'm just explaining how the lumbar support works. It's a very simple system. It's just a plastic strap that runs across at that position in your lumbar of your spine, and in a minute, once I get the strap lined up, I'll actually show you how it works. It's just a simple rotating ratchet system that pulls the strap tighter. Seems to work well. The plastic strap seems to be a different type of plastic to the plastic frame that I'm clipping it into, and seems to be much stronger material. There's no wear on it whatsoever. I'm just going to grab the handle in a second and show you. I'm just latching it back into the little plastic catches, holds it into that frame, and I'll show you how it operates. There's two little plastic push plugs that hold the bottom of that plastic frame down into the steel seat frame. Don't drop them. Pain in the neck to try and find them. A lot of little holes in the back of the seat. Fortunately, hadn't gone far. Just push the push them into the seat steel frame, I guess you'd say, and that's what locates them.
Two little of the push plugs that hold it in place down the bottom into the frame.
Now the fun bit, trying to get these two springs to attach back to the plastic webbing, I guess you'd call it. They're under a fair bit of tension. I try a few times with the old pliers and try and pull them across into position, but that proves to be really difficult, so I come up with an alternative, which you'll see in a sec. So I came up with a solution to get the two springs to attach the old zip ties. Allows you to pull the tension onto the springs. Still a little bit fiddly, but you'll see in a sec, much easier than trying to pull the springs by hand and get them in the holes successfully. I don't know how long or how well my repair is going to last to that frame. The zip ties that I use to repair the frame are much stronger than the plastic itself. I did plastic weld the frame as well. Look, at the end of the day, if it lasts another 5 years, then that's probably the life of the car anyway. But yeah, so pull a bit of tension onto the zip ties. That enables me to get one of the hooks through the holes on that side, and then I think for memory I just need to pull a bit more tension. As happens, one of the zip tie ends was now caught on the other hook, so I had to do a bit of fiddling to make that work. But I get there in the end. You get the idea. Once you've got the hooks in place, cut the zip ties. Bob's your uncle.
So for those that haven't seen the lumbar support before, it's better to turn the other way. This just winds in and pulls this strap down into your lumbar area. Quite a simple design. Works quite well.
Okay, here I'm just reinserting the plastic guides that hold the headrest in. Maybe putting them in the right way. Not hard, Andrew. That's better. And as I mentioned, they just slide in until they click in place. And then the headrest just goes straight in. You do have to push the little buttonhole again. Just like that. And the other side as well. There we go. Done.
Right, so that's the seat back.
So after the reassembling the base back together, this is the pretty much the finished product. I've yet to give it a coating of the scratch remover product that I got from the UK, which is approved for Rolls-Royce apparently. It seems to work really well on leather. Very happy with the way that it's turned out. It's not perfect, but that's the color restorer, leather color restorer. Just give it a good coating of that, and then I'll show you what the final product looks like. So here's a walk around of the finished product all back together. As you can see, the new seam all stitched up properly. It's not quite as good as factory. Look, at the end of the day, it's 100% better than what it was. Disappointed, a little bit disappointed. Couldn't get the French seam down that spot, but again, most people won't notice. And it's all one piece again now, so the leather's in good condition. There's a little bit of damage to the leather on the outside there. A couple more coats of the scratch remover coating will help a lot with that. It certainly helps make the leather more supple again. It hides all the scratches and abrasions to the leather. The seat leather didn't go into the foam quite as well as I'd hoped. That's why it's got a little bit of that puckering there. But again, at the end of the day, it's 100% better than what it was. I'm pretty happy with the finished product, and it certainly makes for a much better looking ute than what the condition was when I bought it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Please like, share, and subscribe. There's another video connected with this on repairing the seat motors when they fail. So check that out, and hope you got something out of it. Anyway, hope things are good with you, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks.